Yo, what's going on? You are listening to episode 5 of Daniel and Gian Talk Shit. I am Gian.
And I'm Daniel.
And today we are going to be talking about Don't Breathe, Get Down, on Netflix, and a couple episodes of Mr. Robot. I just started watching it. I'm catching up. I'm trying to become part of the party that I'm late to. Daniel, we always start off with the same thing, and you just sat in traffic for about an hour and a half. Tell us about your drive up.
It was cool, except we went on the wrong freeway, and
Whose fault was that?
that was Carlos, our wonderful assistant. He was shotgun and doing the navigation, and he failed miserably.
All right. Okay.
So we were about 7 minutes late.
Okay.
Not that it really matters, but that's it.
So we normally record Sunday nights, but I am going out of town tomorrow for the USC Alabama game. I think I talked about it on the last cast. So it is actually Friday night in Los Angeles, California. So yeah.
Labor Day weekend.
Labor Day weekend. You got any plans?
Nope.
Okay, well, we know my plans. Fucking Daniel.
I never have plans.
Boner dropper. How's the Tindering going?
It's Tindering.
No updates?
Not right now. I think I'll update when something substantial happens. But for now, it's kind of just the same old talk.
Okay.
Both on and off the app. But nothing for me that's substantial enough to talk about.
Got it. Okay. Well, what do you want?
It's cool, though, so far. I mean, like, I get it. I feel like the more I'm on it in terms of length of time, I think it'll continue to get better.
Right.
Because when we first started, I said it was like a 4 out of 10 out of, like, the first week.
Right.
It's gone up from then because I get it now. Like it starts to make sense. It's kind of like a game.
Right.
Like not to make it seem bad, but it is like a game. Like
okay.
There's ways to improve your chances of doing better.
Right.
You know, profile or whatever. Like obviously the first podcast we did, I learned some stuff, but then from even then, it's like okay, if I'm going to X, well, like for example, I'm going to be going to New York in 2 weeks. Make sure that I get some active photos of me doing stuff that I'm doing normally, but I'm just documenting it.
I think you said like the exact same thing in the last podcast.
I did?
Yes.
Well, whatever. Maybe this is the first episode for someone.
But it's getting better. It's getting better is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah.
Okay. You haven't like tried any new apps? I know you did Bumble for like 10 seconds.
I did not try anything since Bumble.
Okay.
And I did get one real match on Bumble. And they didn't respond. They didn't like message me. So
fucking bitch.
You said it, not me. I'm not gonna deny it though.
Okay. Well, maybe next week you'll like try Plenty of Fish and OK Cupid.
Don't even know what those two are, but
those
look
are
them up.
those are like the granddaddies of the dating websites, I believe. They've been around for a while. Carlos knows all about them. He's all over that shit. Maybe if Carlos had a mic, he could talk about them fucking fried egg tits. He sent Daniel last week, like, proud of him. Like,
he does have a mic if he wants it.
He's like, hey, Daniel, look at this.
That's not a
Do you want
It's
a
like
mic?
a fucking pancake. Look at these pancake titties with chocolate chips on them. To be honest with you, dude, I think it's, yeah.
Oh,
no data.
No Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi. Oh yeah, our data man can't look stuff
He
up
has
without
no data.
Wi-Fi.
Text him the password.
I don't know the password.
Bro, it's hold on. Let's just talk about something, Daniel, while I'm trying to fucking.
I don't know.
I feel like you're less ranty this week. The past few other weeks, you've had shit like you like wanted to get off your chest.
I mean, I have a lot of to talk about Don't Breathe, but I don't know if you want to get into that right away.
Okay, I'm just throwing shit out there. I just sent it to you right now.
To me?
I mean, you know what? Last week we talked. We were gonna.
You don't have Carlos' number?
You know, I remember you. So, don't get upset about this, but well, you wouldn't get upset. But Daniel's grandmother passed away recently, and he had to go to the.
Oh, I can rant about that if you want, because that.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that.
No,
last
we didn't
week.
talk about it at
We're
all.
going to, yeah.
So, my grandma's like the second significant person I've lost in the last year and a half, and so for me, so it was my dad a year and a half ago, and then my grandma just recently, my dad's mom, excuse me, and So I've obviously had to go do the funeral thing for my dad and everything like that. But this time, I didn't feel like doing any of it. Going to the burial, yeah, like going to the funeral mass that I wanted, but I didn't want to go to the wake just because I didn't want to do it. Like I didn't want to be around because I already knew what was what the environment was going to be like, so I had no intention of going. And of course, living with my mom, that's not going to fly over well. She's like, no, you got to go. It's disrespectful. Like, how are you going to live with yourself? And I'm telling my mom, like, I'm living with myself just fine because whether or not I go to the wake doesn't matter, to me personally.
I mean, I know you're not a church going person, but like when you grow up in a Catholic Latino family, regardless if you guys are practicing, there's still shit that
No, I
we all
get
do.
it. But
Like
see,
that's just a part of it. Like,
but for me, I didn't want to go. I didn't want to be around that. It's not going to do me any good. Like, I'm not going to benefit from it in terms of like, it's not going to make me feel at peace or something like that. And if anything, it makes me feel worse because, I have to see like all my family members crying and all. Like, I don't need that. Like, it doesn't do anything for me but make me feel worse.
right,
And I don't want that.
right,
So I was going to go, and then I decided like, I'm not going.
okay,
And I told my mom like, no, I'm not going. And then that's when she gave me the whole spiel of basically like, I have to. Like, well, what do you think? What do you think your family members are gonna think? And which made me more defensive of like, well, wait, if you're sitting there telling me this is for my grandma and like, out of respect for her and blah blah blah, why should it matter what my family thinks? Like,
right.
who am I doing it for? Like, am I going for them or am I going for my grandma? Like, there's there's two different conflicting things. So finally, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go so she can just stop pestering me about it. Cause
So you did it to get your mom off your back.
basically.
Okay,
So,
that's fair.
but I wasn't going to like put on a nice suit and shit to go to the wake. So I was gonna go in exactly what I was wearing, which was a button down shirt and shorts. My mom's like, "You're gonna go in shorts?" And then that just triggers me more to be like, "Okay, well, who am I? See, there now. Now that I said I'm going, now you're gonna get on my case about shorts because okay, shorts are just like who fucking care? Like ever since I was a kid, I went to Catholic school. I was raised Catholic. Never understood like obviously things have changed since Vatican II or whatever, where you had to like wear a hat, like a woman had to wear a, like all like the traditional like
Right.
if you had to wear this to church or else.
Yeah,
like,
we're in a more modern times now.
Right.
You can get away with wearing.
But to me, it's like that always bothered me about the stupidity of I gotta wear this, I have to wear that. Like this is disrespectful and this isn't. Like I'm not wearing a fucking dying fetus shirt or something. I'm not wearing like, and even
Right.
if I was, to me that doesn't make any difference. It's matter like how you approach things. Like I don't know, it's fucking clothing. We're born naked, we're gonna die naked. So like at the end of the day,
We're not gonna die naked.
well, some of us will.
I mean, I hope I am. I hope I'm right next to somebody else.
But but my point is, it's like it's fucking clothes. Who cares? At the end of the day,
Like I want to bust and die.
that's how you die.
And that person, I want that person. To be, oh my god! Like they're not even
No,
crying; they're just freaking out.
No, I remember one time. You can look this up. I don't remember when it happened. I think I texted you about it, which is kind of weird. It's sounding weird, but
About when you died having
No.
sex with someone.
no, I came and I fucking like had a heart attack. Like it felt like I had a heart attack. Like I don't know how to explain it. Look it up. Like I don't know.
I don't remember that story.
No, did I feel?
Wait,
like,
why?
I don't know
why,
if I felt like I had a heart attack.
What are we looking up? You having?
No,
a heart
it's a certain thing where it's like
Damn, you're true.
if it's a certain pain that it can have. It wasn't a heart attack. It was I had like a fucking migraine. I had like a migraine. It wasn't a heart attack. It was like the worst headache in my life. After I jerked off, came and I literally thought like I fucked up my.
Okay, I'm glad you clarified that you jerked off because everybody knows it wasn't with a woman.
No, definitely
Like
not.
nobody believes that. Okay.
But
You just have a shit.
look it up. Just put like severe headache after jerking off and see what comes up. No, but it really happened and it scared the shit out of me. And then like I didn't jerk off for like a week after that because I was like, oh, what if it happens again?
My searches.
Look it up though, it's real. But anyway, I don't know where was I. I was I wasn't jerking off at church, so I don't know how I got onto jerking off.
Right. Well, you said we were gonna die naked.
Oh, die
We
naked.
talk about the clothing at church. I get it.
Yeah, clothing.
See, now I feel like you're more upset with your mom than you were with your. I thought your issues were with your extended family.
No, I mean, my mom was framing it in a way that they would have an issue. Like they would be like,
and like you're saying, you don't give a shit what they think about you, anyways.
what's it called?
Well, it doesn't say. It just says when men over masturbate.
So now we know what happened.
No, that's the wrong one. You went on the wrong one.
Fucking
You produce an excess of enzymes which prevent the body.
Daniel was on Pornhub too many hours in a row. Just had he had a fucking sesh.
That didn't happen. I don't know what
I was
you're
like,
talking
Daniel, when are we gonna go do whatever? And he was like, Nah, I'm good,
busy.
man. I'm busy. And in the middle
about.
of
But it's a real thing. You're gonna make me look it up because
Sex
that's
habits.
not. It's an
You said why you're
actual.
jerking off.
No, it's
That's what,
there's
dude.
an actual medical term for
I'm
it.
sure that day, like the skin on your dick was just gone. You just rubbed that
It's
shit
raw.
raw.
No, I'm looking it up now. 'cause
Your
you're-
fucking hands
you're
look
too
like
slow.
when you're in the water in the bathtub too long too, just because you had too much lotion or something. I don't even know. Like
I'm looking it up. No. I mean, I guess it was more of like
Effort migraine.
an effort
migraine.
migraine.
That's what it's called.
That's
Okay, so this is exactly why Daniel needs a fleshlight. Because
Yeah.
maybe with the fleshlight, he won't be going at it so hard. You know,
One and done. I'll be good
Yeah.
after that one. I won't need it.
You're out of shape or something.
I'm out of.
there's all kinds of.
fatigue
All of these
yourself.
things make sense. Out of shape, whacked off too many times, too much effort. I don't know. That's
Are you peeking? Just make sure we're not peeking. Anyway, no, but no, I
I'm
guess
still
I
trying
guess
to get like the sweet spot on this mic. I'm like,
no, I know
feel
it's
like I
we're
love
these are our
this.
new mics, by the way. For those of you who are familiar with mics, you'll recognize that these are cheap mics. But
So the lavs might be better in the long run.
but whatever, fuck it, who cares? So I guess it was more with my mom. Like I wasn't mad at my mom. It's not like my mom was saying like
Nah, you're just really close to your grandma, and then
I didn't want to see any of that. I didn't care
Right.
for it. Like it wasn't going to do anything for me. Like it was closed casket, and even if it wasn't, I wasn't going to go like up there. I didn't go up there. You know, I just told my mom if I go, I'm going to sit in the back, which is pretty much what I did.
right. Were people trying to talk to you?
Yeah, I mean I interacted, but I mean it's not for me. It's not a social hour. Like
Right.
I don't care to like talk to people or whatever.
Right.
You know, for me. And like
No,
I
I
said,
get
my
you.
mom defended me. It's not like she said that I'm wrong.
Right.
She's like, you just need to go
You
because
just need to show face.
maybe it'll help them by you being there.
Right.
So I went. I mean, I went. You know, but it just things like that rub me the wrong way.
I mean, I know it's a sad thing we're talking about, but if you're like the strong person in your family's weak as fuck.
I don't know what to say to that. I do want to comment that these cups stink. Like smell.
Well, I told you to use the glasses, and you fucking
Doesn't know.
you did the plastic cups from like the million.
Yeah, they stink like fucking bad. Like I feel like the water's contaminated as fuck.
I think your cups like.
Dude, fucking smell my cup. Here, hand in
I'm
my
not
cup.
smelling your cup.
Just smell
I'm
it.
not smelling your cup.
Smell it. Just smell it.
Carlos, smell
It's
it.
already like. Yeah, it does feel kind of weird.
He's got a stinky
Just
cup.
just smell it. Just smell it.
It's just this one though. This one.
Oh.
Yeah, dude. Like
It smells like old peanuts.
just dump that and give me a new cup,
Like,
please, because that's like it.
Yeesh.
Big fish.
It smells like fucking a fish died in there. Was that your beta fish? Like, did it swim in there?
I guess, man. I don't know. I don't use plastic cups until today. It's the first time I used it
In the cupboard, there's
Been
like
in
glass.
there for a long
2
time.
years.
But anyway, yeah. So that's my thing, and then I went to the funeral and everything. I mean, everything's fine. You know, I don't have any. I have no problem with
Right.
my family or anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. I have no issues with them or anything. It's just for me. I don't want to do. I didn't want to do that shit. I didn't
I
want
get
to do
you.
it. So.
All
that's
right, well,
really
then let's
what it
talk
was.
about Don't Breathe and
Sure.
pop this boner back up because this boner
Let's do it.
just dropped big time. Boom, boom. Go ahead, man.
Well, no, you start because I have a lot to say. So I don't, and because Don't Breathe is not your cup of tea. You don't watch movies like this.
I wouldn't say I'm the biggest horror movie guy.
Kind of a thriller, kind of a both a
Yeah,
hybrid.
it wasn't really a horror. It was a thriller for sure. Like I meant,
It had horror elements, like,
yeah.
but anyway, but either way, this type of movie isn't your type of movie. Like,
No.
you're not going to go out on a Friday night and watch this.
No, even though I did.
Which
Well,
is-
actually, I went on a Sunday morning.
Well,
We want to get.
but you get my point, though.
No, I get it.
Thanks.
It was all right. I didn't hate it. There's
What did
just
you-
some
what did
shit.
you like about it?
I like you know, I like the premise. I like there's a blind guy fucking people up for breaking into his house. I don't know. It was just is it a Blumhouse film? It felt like a Blumhouse.
I don't think it is, but it was made. I think it was made in the vein of that. I don't think it was because, I believe his name's Fede Alvarez, the director. He doesn't work like his first film was the remake of Evil Dead.
Okay.
So, and that wasn't a Blumhouse movie.
I
That was
mean-
him and Sam Raimi.
There wasn't a lot of character development, and
On any side or just in?
I mean, I
For
felt
the
like
main-
it kind
for
of
the
like
old
you know,
guy.
you can argue that the girl was the main. She was the main person. She was the lead.
Yeah.
And then you find out she's got a shitty home life. Her little sister, she doesn't want her little sister growing up the same way she grew
Was
up.
it the sister?
I think it was her sister.
See, I don't know. I didn't know if it was a sister or her daughter or like.
No, I think it was no, because she was too young to have the girl that age.
I don't know.
I mean,
I
they're
don't
like
think- I don't think they explain,
21,
though.
22 years old, and that girl was like 12. So there's no, unless you remember she was 10.
She didn't look 12 to me.
Yeah, well,
It doesn't matter. She was a little
it doesn't
girl.
matter. She's a little girl. She was related to her in some.
And she was gonna raise her like a daughter or a child.
Right.
She wanted it. So the point of the movie, the reason why she needed the money is because she wanted to live out of the shitty home that you said.
Right.
Her and the little kid. Whoever.
They were like in Ohio or Michigan. Some.
I don't
I
even
think
know
they were
where
Detroit.
they
They
were.
were in Detroit. They were in Detroit.
Was
yeah.
it Detroit?
Yeah, it was Detroit. Yeah.
Okay.
We all know Detroit's a shithole.
Right.
So.
They show that. Well,
Yeah. Yeah. There's.
but,
So like whatever, like I get it, but then they had I don't know, they had this stupid fucking wigger boyfriend. Like I don't know what was he Latino?
he's
Cuban.
Carlos informed me that he's on Fear the Walking Dead. I haven't watched that show yet, but apparently
Okay.
he's on that.
Okay.
I don't know what his character is or whatever. But
I don't know. I just felt like why like this was the one.
It was Riff Raff.
It was the one
His name was Rocky.
stereotypical character they needed on. Like they didn't need it. Like
Rocco?
His
name's Rocco.
His name is Rocky.
Rocky.
You had no empathy for the guy at all. So when he gets his head blown off, which is in the trailer, he gets his head blown off in the first
Which
fucking.
is actually really weak. Actually, I was very disappointed
Yeah.
by how unviolent that was.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, I guess my biggest complaint about the whole movie was like it wasn't as tense as it should have been. I was never like gripping my seat. Like
It could have easily like the trailers. Like there was moments where I'm like, oh, okay, I'm on it. Like I'm with it. But I agree that it wasn't. I'm trying to think of what movie where I watched it and I was like, holy shit! Like, fuck. I just watched it recently too.
I mean, honestly, I guess I was just unimpressed overall. There was nothing, I liked the idea. I didn't really like the execution of it. Some of the things that bothered me was what's the actor's name? The old guy? The guy from
Avatar. I don't know.
Avatar?
He's Avatar guy. To
well,
me.
that's what Carlos is here
Stephen
for.
Lang.
Stephen Lang.
Stephen Lang. I was like, I don't know. When he started talking and he had this weird voice, he was like, "My daughter
Oh,
got killed and you guys are trying to rob me." Like I don't know, like he was trying to do a fucking Batman voice or something. It was weird.
he could have not talked. He could have been a mute too.
Yeah.
Like, he should have been blind and
Could
mute.
have been. I mean, I guess they needed a little bit of exposition to explain what was going on, but and then the whole like finding the girl that ran her over and locked up in his basement and she's pregnant.
It was two movies.
Yeah.
It was two. Like the first half of the movie, I enjoyed the first half of the movie.
I would have been okay with it was just him killing everybody and nobody survives. Like her not escaping would have been fine.
Yeah, and then they went like. That's the type of movie it was.
Like Jeepers Creepers, like the first
I
one.
didn't see any. I haven't seen any of
Okay,
those.
well, are you gonna watch?
No, I have no. I don't care to.
Oh, the first Jeepers Creepers, Justin Long is like digging his putting his nose in business that he shouldn't be, and the fucking monster finds him. And at the end of the movie, you see him on a fucking medical chair, like with his mouth sewn up or whatever. I don't know.
They all die at the end.
Yeah, everybody dies. I mean, I guess his sister's still alive, trying to find him or something. I don't remember the whole thing. It's been years, but It was like that. Like, okay, everybody's fucking dead. Everybody loses. You know, this guy, and I felt like it would have been better because they shouldn't have broke into this guy's place in the first place. You know, there was no reason to break into his house. They were assuming they had money, and then where was the money going to be held? Like, and they go in while he's home. You know, and I mean, it's fucking. I thought it was pretty well known that blind people don't sleep at normal hours because they have no fucking light.
They're blind. They don't know what night and day is.
No
they have
idea.
no cycle.
No, exactly. There's a condition actually. Like sometimes on 570 on the sports talk show, they're like, if you have so and so condition because you're blind, you know.
See, I don't know that, but it makes sense.
Yeah,
like why would you?
Yeah. So it doesn't matter. Let's go in at 3 a.m. Like, why would you go in at 3 a.m.? He might be awake. He's fucking blind. It's not like the sun's keeping him up. You know. So, that was weird. And then they just like the smoke bomb. Like these guys were fucking.
That was a weak ass bomb if it didn't knock him out for that long.
Yeah, it was like they're small time fucking thieves.
And it wasn't even
But they have all this like I don't know. And
Like-
then the kids like we never see the kid's dad, but we see that he's breaking into his dad's files because his dad's.
Well, I like that. I actually like that there wasn't a lot of characters. And I mean for the
I
first.
feel like it's a budgetary reason why they weren't.
No,
Stephen Lang was the only one they had to pay.
Well, I mean, I don't know check the budget, but I mean, for me, I felt like the first half was pretty solid. Like it was strong, enough to where it was like for this type of movie, is it breaking down barriers? Is it changing the game? No, but for that type of movie, I felt like the first half, pretty much before the reveal of like that girl,
Right.
being chained up or whatever, like that to me is when the movie shifted into something else.
Right.
Because when that happened, I'm like, okay, like all right. I
Yeah,
actually thought the movie felt like it was ending.
Right.
And it had only been like an hour and 10 minutes or so, not even. Like I thought if they would have escaped or one of them died or something, like the movie could have ended. Like that's what it felt like to me.
Right.
Because I was, but then that happened and then it goes into weird. But anyway, hold on. I'm going to backtrack a second
10.
to what you said. 10 million. It was a $10 million movie. Okay, I could see it for 10. Like for me, it felt like a $5 million. Like you said, a Blumhouse
Right.
$5 million. But okay, 10, whatever. But I mean, $1 million must have went to the fucking dog trainer of that movie. But we'll talk about the dog later.
No, I got some comments about the fucking.
Well, that's
dog.
why. Well, that's what
Yeah.
I'll talk about. But in terms of their motives were kind of weak, like you said, and you didn't really care. Either way, you didn't really care. Like you didn't really care if they got the money and left,
Right.
or you didn't really care if the fucking old guy killed him, and then that was it.
And like, how much money did they need to move to California? Why do they need $300,000?
Because that's what he had. But no, but okay. But the point I'm getting to is it wasn't like hell or high water,
Right.
or it was like that was clear
Right.
what they wanted. I mean,
What they needed.
what they needed, and why you give a shit about why. Like, that's a great fucking movie
Right.
in terms of like setting their goals and rooting for the characters that are the bad guys, right? Like,
Right.
that wasn't translated in this movie. Obviously, did it need to? No. Is that like a real critique where it had to have that? No.
I mean, you're also comparing Jeff Bridges, Chris Pine, and fucking Ben Foster to.
Ben Foster's great. He's like
I mean, he's a great actor. He's awesome.
he's great.
Well, he's awesome as a fucking loony. I don't know, as a regular person.
No, Ben Foster's really good. He's great as a loony, but
I've
I mean,
never seen him in anything that he wasn't a loony in.
What am I? I've seen him in something. I think he was in. Well, maybe
Yeah, like
he
the
was.
first movie he ever made 20 years ago.
I was gonna say
when he was
310 to
12.
Yuma, but I
Yeah.
think he was. I don't know if he was in that movie. I
was
think
in
he
it.
was.
He was in it.
But I probably was a bad guy.
Yeah.
But
I think
anyway.
he was the guy they were taking on the train.
Oh, okay. So that would be. But anyway, he's great. But overall, like, I enjoyed the movie. But then there was just a lot of like I keep bringing up the first. I felt the first half was smart, quote unquote. Like, I felt like I was learning things visually and things were coming together, like the camera work of just simple things that
So you like the tracking scene where they're like zoomed in on the hammer, like to let you know that the hammer is going to get used.
it's going to come into play. Yeah,
and
I
then
did.
the little bell and the thing.
Yeah, I did because they were those worked well enough for me as plant and payoffs for later on.
Right.
I mean, some of them were overt. Like the hammer was a little too on the nose, right? But there was a little more subtle ones, like when it goes under the bed and you see the guy's gun under the bed.
Right.
Like, I didn't necessarily know it was going to get used in the way it did get used, but you knew it was there, right?
Right.
You knew that this guy is armed and loaded. Like, because you have to, for me, I think I watched the first trailer and that's it. Like, I didn't watch any of the newer trailers or
Right.
anything like that, so I didn't know anything.
I mean, I think the trailers did a disservice to the movie,
right,
too.
because they
Like, we didn't need to see Riff Raff getting fucking murdered in
no.
the trailer.
So you have to.
You know?
So the way I looked at those scenes where it was like, you know, that long shot or whatever, you have to take that as in you've never seen the trailer. You don't know that this guy is a fucking badass or whatever. So like directorially, that's a strong move because they could have had that in dialogue somehow, like some exposition shitty dialogue.
Well, they did. They said he was an veteran.
That doesn't necessarily mean
Like,
he has
just remember, guys, if you ever are in a horror movie and you find out that one of the person
has PTSD because he was served in the Iraq
is
War,
a fucking veteran, like, you know you're gonna get fucked up. It's like,
For
stay
sure.
away from the army vets in movies because they're always badasses.
they're gonna kill you. They're gonna just kill you. But anyway, so there were moments like that where I was like, oh yeah, cool. Like it kept me interested visually because there's not a lot of dialogue really. I mean, there really isn't a lot of dialogue prior to like the whole movie kicking into gear.
Right.
But but it just that second half kind of got. It turned into a different movie. It was just kind of got stupid. Like it just felt like they were just like when they're in the basement and then the fucking dude shuts the lights off, and then it goes into that weird like night vision style.
Right.
Like I didn't like that shit. It was dumb because
That didn't bother me that much.
it bothered me because it reminded me of Silence of the Lambs.
Like, that's a bad thing.
No. But hold on. But it reminded me because in Silence of the Lambs,
He had
Buffalo
the-
Bill
he
has
had
the
the
night vision
goggles,
goggles, and it explains why it looks all fucked up.
Right.
To me, like, I get it because how the fuck are you gonna shoot in pitch
Right.
black and have it look pitch black? I mean, you could do that, but then it's not gonna be the same thing because the whole point is you need to see everything,
Right.
right? In order to know, like, oh shit, he's walking into him or he's walking away from him or whatever like that. But it was just like.
I mean, that didn't really take me out of it.
It took me out of it because it's like how big is this guy's basement?
That was weird.
That's what I kept. I was like, because
But I feel like maybe in
his
Michigan,
basement is
in
bigger
those-
than his fucking house.
I mean, maybe in those houses like that. It seemed like it kept going and going. Like he had like a labyrinth.
he had a
down there.
room, and then he had a room in which he could fucking lock chicks up, and then like the cellar entrance. Like he had fucking like it was a maze down there,
Right.
and I was like, what the fuck? Like that's the fact that I could see everything that's what my whole point is. Like I could
Right.
see everything, so it made
So
me like.
you'd have preferred them like breaking out their lighter or something.
No, I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying that because they did do that with their cell phones. I'm just
Right,
saying,
when they
like,
died.
yeah, I don't know. It was just I guess my thing is.
I mean, I felt like the cell phones should have gone off sooner too. Like they waited too long for the cell phone to go off. The cell phone gag. Like
Oh,
we
yeah.
all knew the
At
cell
some
phone was
point.
going to go off, and he's going to be like, you know, they're over there.
I guess it lost steam. I guess my whole point is
Yeah.
the movie loses steam. Like the first half, you're with it because like obviously the premise hasn't worn off, but then it was like there's a lot of stupid shit that happens. For example, when the dog finally gets unleashed again, and they run upstairs and then they barricade themselves in the room or whatever, right?
Right.
And then they see the vent. Oh, we got to go to the vent, right? Because obviously, like I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I'm a fat guy, but there's no vent in which I would fucking fit into.
Right.
Like realistically,
Right.
I mean, you have to be a tiny ass bitch to fit in those vents, and to crawl. And they they do full like turns in these vents, and it's like I've never seen a vent like that.
It's an old house too. Like those.
Be that
vents
as
are-
it may, maybe.
No, I'm saying like in older houses, the vents are smaller.
Oh, okay. So
Like-
you're just you're making it seem even okay. All right.
Yeah.
But
Like that was a vent in an office building.
yeah, like a fucking
That was like a die-hard vent. You know.
that you could literally like
Yeah.
have 5 people in there.
Exactly.
But in that scene, they barricade themselves with the fucking cabinet or whatever, and blah blah blah. And at one point, the dog gets through, right?
Right.
And the dog chases the dude, and he flies out the window.
Why didn't they just go out the window?
That's what I was like. What the like? They look at
How
the
did
window
they miss the one window with no bars?
that they could have easily broken and jumped out of.
Right.
That shit that one made me like, what?
Well, there was a lot of stuff. Like, I mean, no matter how much of a badass he is, the guy's still blind and he has problems moving. Like, he's not moving fast. He's like he's coming at you at a Jason's pace. You know, like, but that's the gag of the Friday the 13th movies. Like, no matter how slow Jason's coming, he always catches you. But this guy's like, he's obviously not, he hasn't been blind his entire life, so he has issues moving around still.
Right. It's not. It's not a fucking superhero.
No.
He's blind. He's
So the
like-
second he shot the fucking friend. He's not even the friend. The fucking whatever we want to call him.
riffraff.
His name's
After he shot Riffraff.
Riffraff.
Correction.
Oh, his name was Money. Or
Riffraff.
I'm like, dude, you guys are hiding. I get it, but after you're kind of trapped. Rush that fucking dude with everything you got. Like they do it at the end of the movie.
Right.
Like he killed your fucking friend, or your cohort. Like beat the fuck out of this guy. He's blind. He doesn't move well. Like use everything you got. He could have ran past him to the tool shed or wherever grab the shovel and fucking hit him from a distance with the shovel because it's not like he can see the shovel coming at him.
We're not all you, Gian.
So he can block him. I'm just saying,
The smartest guy in the movie is the fucking skinny kid.
And
he
doesn't-
leaves.
and
Because he leaves.
yeah.
He leaves. He's like, oh, you got a gun? I'm fucking out.
And then
that would have been me.
And then the fucking chick,
but I never would have came back.
Yeah.
I never would have came
the
back.
chick messed him up. He came back for the.
Those Instagram pics. That's what Riffraff says. He's
Yeah.
like, that's my bitch. Like
Right.
you're just jacking off to her Instagram selfies.
I didn't like how he hesitated to kill Riff Raff either. Like that was like, I mean, I guess they did it so that you would have to
Is
be.
that the ghetto bird?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like the ghetto bird.
LA baby.
I feel like they did it
gotta
so
get
that now you could say that the Stephen Lang was the bad guy because he hesitated, but it was just like so. I don't know. It just wasn't a good beat,
It wasn't. Have you seen Evil Dead, the remake?
No, I haven't seen it.
That movie is so fucking violent
You were expecting more.
that I was like, when he kills these people, because obviously you knew people were gonna fucking drop, that people are gonna fucking get like. When he got shot in the face, I expected his head to explode.
Right.
Like that's how violent Evil Dead was.
Right.
I mean, Evil Dead was. There was a scene in it where I remember looking away because it was that fucking violent. And I don't care for violent movies. Like, not in terms of I don't care for violent movies. I mean, that doesn't bother me. I'm not gonna like turn away. I think it had to do with the chainsaw towards the end, and I was just like, I remember like looking away because it was like gross.
It was too much.
It was too much.
Okay.
I mean, the movie, the Evil Dead's good. I like the first. That's why when I saw that he was making this movie, and then the Rotten
Right.
Tomatoes score was good, and I knew a few people who watched it, and they're like, yeah, it's a good thriller. It's like, well, it's smart, blah blah blah.
Right.
I'm like, all right, cool, but the violence, it just wasn't up to par.
Right. And I think that's why there was like a lack of tension as well. It just wasn't. It was just kind of flat.
It was like a better than straight to DVD movie, but it wasn't like. It's not an 87% on Rotten Tomatoes,
Right.
which I think it is.
I feel like critics, man, they're just like
If it's like remotely smart and remotely
Yeah.
like not fucking normal,
Just
then like they're like,
slightly-
oh yeah, it's great.
slightly different.
Just enough to where
Yeah.
oh no, it's never been done before. It's fucking amazing. Not that they said any of this, but it's like,
No, I get it.
but yeah. So like shit like the and then it took him so fucking long to realize that like, oh, if I turn that washing machine on, he's not gonna know because he's fucking blind, and like that, like it took him like the whole movie to figure out that sound will fuck him up.
Right.
Even though, like right off the bat, he shoots a phone or something, like something goes off, and it's like clearly he doesn't know
Right.
because he's blind.
I mean,
First
you
of-
could kind of justify that because they're like in shock. Their buddy just got shot, and they're like, they don't know what to do because they've never been in that situation before. I guess.
I don't know.
I mean, you gotta Patrick the movie a little bit. Like, you gotta make concessions. And for
I know, of
for
course.
you guys that don't know, Patrick's my sister's boyfriend, and he loves every movie ever made. Like,
Every movie.
He'll never talk bad. If he talks bad about a movie, it's
Then
really fucking bad.
That's how you know that you failed in life.
Yeah, because what's the one the Arnold Schwarzenegger remake with Kate Beckinsale?
Oh, Total Recall.
And Total Recall remake. He hates that movie.
Well, that movie fucking sucks.
Yeah, that's like got to be the worst movie ever made.
Ever made.
But he'll justify stuff in his head. Like, well, they did this. Like, he'll add stuff to the story that wasn't there. He'll just assume, and that'll like justify the actions.
He post writes. He writes
Yeah.
more. I mean, I like the movie. Don't get me wrong. Like, if I had to study something, if I'm gonna make a horror movie, I'd probably watch. This would be a movie I watched to get ideas from.
I don't know
In
about
moments, for me, I mean, you and I disagree on a lot of things, but for me, like
I mean, there was never a moment where I was even startled. Like, there wasn't even pop out stuff.
Well, I don't think it was that type of movie.
But there wasn't even there wasn't
jump,
like a creepy factor.
I
Like,
jumped at the fucking dog at the very beginning
uh,
because I didn't expect the fucking dog to like
right,
pop on the window. But I mean, no. In my opinion, it wasn't that type of movie though.
right.
I think the trailer set it up to be that type of movie where it was like, don't do anything, like don't breathe, like.
And then the shit at the end where like she's at the train station or wherever, and the guy's still alive, and she's like freaking out, like he's fucking blind. Oh, can you open the door for Mongo?
Yeah, because he's alive. I'm like, he's blind. I was talking to Carlos about that after, and I was like, well, how's the blind man gonna find her? Like, is he gonna have to Siri? Like,
Right. Yeah.
Use Siri to find.
Yeah. And
As
who's
if
gonna drive him?
as if he knows that she's going to California.
Right.
Like, what the dog's gonna help him go.
There's just so much shit that I don't know. Like you're justifying so much stuff, man.
Especially when the news report says like, nothing was stolen or something like that, where it was
Yeah.
like he basically told them that like it's all right, no, don't worry about it.
Right.
Like she should be like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah. If they come out with the second one, that's gonna piss me off. Especially if he's in it. Like,
If they make a second one, and there's no relation to any of these people, just title it something else.
right.
Like, don't make it "Don't Breathe" 2.
Yeah. Maybe it should be a fucking deaf guy this time. I don't know.
What would you call it? Don't listen.
It would be "Don't breathe" because they'll be able to smell your breath. Like
Would the deaf guy
don't
be
eat
blind?
hot,
Would the
don't
deaf
eat
guy
hot
be blind?
Cheetos. You know, I
Would
don't.
he be blind?
No, he'd still see. Like, you just can't hear. So you can make a bunch of racket. I don't know.
You could break his window, but make sure you don't get seen.
Right, exactly. And like, don't put on any deodorant or anything, but make sure you shower like 20 minutes before you break into his house. Because
So you like the dog?
no.
Why
And
not?
this is why. Because the dog was happy so many times. The dog's running with its tongue out, like, and you could tell like the dog wasn't like, and the dog was wagging his tail, like. I don't even know how they got that dog to fucking bark. I think it was a different fucking dog or something. Because the dog that was running, was blatantly happy. You know that dog was happy. Like they had like a fucking raw steak in front of him or something. He's like, you know, it was all sound effects. Like,
Oh, it was definitely all sound
it
effects.
was all because that dog was not a good actor.
I thought he had moments. I definitely would have fucking killed that dog though, for sure.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean like all the
Dude, I
the
would've-
animals lover out there. I'm
Dude,
sorry, but
I
that
would have
dog.
smashed that dude's head in with the fucking hammer. I would have killed the fucking dog. I was waiting for the dog to die, and they didn't do it.
Of course not, because then animal lovers would not be happy.
Well, fuck the animal lovers.
You gotta lock it in the
You know,
car.
they shouldn't have broke into the fucking house.
You have to lock it in the car so it'll fucking die from heat.
Right, exactly. That's okay.
That's okay.
That's
So
okay.
It suffers, but
Bashing its head in with a fucking hammer or whatever.
I don't know why they didn't just fucking poison the dog. I thought that's what they were gonna do. They gave it like a fucking sleep aid. Like I
Right.
thought he had. Like,
Well, they're not trying to kill. That's why. That's why when the
It's a dog.
That's when the gun came out. It was like,
It's a dog.
you brought a gun?
But it's a dog.
I got this.
It's a dog. I don't think you can go to jail for that, can you?
Killing a dog?
Yeah.
Michael Vick went to fucking jail.
Well,
He went to prison. He went to
didn't-
federal prison for 3 years for killing dogs.
well, he also was fighting them too.
Oh. Okay, that's different.
It's only 3 years.
As long as you kill dogs humanely, you're okay.
Yeah, I mean, but you know,
It's okay to poison the dog, but
I don't know. I'm just saying.
no, I get you.
It was worth $6. That's about what I paid,
I paid
for it.
$6.50.
So
I mean, I give it like a 5 out of 10. That's
it's about a 5 out of 10. I'd say it's about a 7.
a 7.
Yeah, once you put it in the
So
genre.
you gave Suicide Squad a 6, but you like this movie more than Suicide Squad.
Well, I'm comparing it to other movies I've seen lately within the genre, and for me personally, the horror thriller genre, whatever you want to call it, like it's been fairly weak lately.
Right.
And the first half was good enough to where, I mean, okay, so let's.
By the way, I'm not digging this headphones thing, man. This is
Well, it's because you're wearing a hat.
well, even without the hat, man. It's my ears. It's not that.
Oh well, I mean, you don't have to wear headphones. That's up to
Well,
you.
you fucking made me do it, so fuck you.
You can take them off. I'm not holding them on.
All right. Anyway, I'm done with this.
All right.
All right, let's talk about a show that I finished watching and you haven't, and then after
Even
that,
Carlos finished watching it.
we'll go to the next show where I haven't finished watching it, but you have. So I started Don't Breathe. You start The Get Down on Netflix.
All right, so the Get Down.
What episode did you?
Well, set up the Get Down. I feel like you could set it up better, and then I'll start with the opinions.
Okay, so The Get Down is another Netflix original, and it's kind of about the birth of hip hop in the Bronx. It has like a very strong like racial tones. You know what's going on to the Black and Hispanic community in the late '70s in the Bronx at the time. Jimmy Smith stars in it. It's got Shameik Moore.
As a Puerto Rican for the first time in a while.
Jimmy Smith's playing a Puerto Rican first time in a while. No, he usually plays Mexicans.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I can't remember another movie Jimmy Smith was a Puerto Rican in, to be honest with you. But he plays a Puerto Rican.
He is Puerto Rican, by the way, if you didn't know. Not you, Gian, but the audience.
Of course I knew. Yeah. But he's in it, and the rest of the cast is a bunch of unknowns, except for...
Jaden.
Oh, Jaden Smith's in it. And then
the dude from Dope.
Giancarlo Esposito's in it, and Shameik Moore. But you know what? I feel like Shameik Moore's Dope. Not everybody saw Dope. A lot of people haven't
watch
seen
it.
Dope
Dope's
yet.
great.
I saw Dope
Dope
already. Did we already talked about
I was talking to the camera.
Oh,
I was talking to
okay.
the audience. To our 25 followers.
I think Dope is like a 7 out of 10. There was some shit in it I didn't agree with, but
Solid 8. Solid 8.
Hard 8.
Hard 8 for sure. Hard 8.
But yeah, no. So it's late 70s, the Bronx, the birth of hip hop, the crime that's going on in the Bronx around the time. Like, if you do your it's funny that in two different like ethnic groups and socio-economic shit or whatever. I mean, no, they're the same. In the 70s in New York, punk rock was invented by a bunch of poor white people. And on the other side of town, hip hop was invented by poor black people and poor Latino people.
Poor minorities.
Poor minorities. Well, it's mostly black people, but there's blacks and Puerto Ricans, and it started the hip hop movement.
What's the difference?
Ooh. Ba-dum-bum. So it's that's a side note. That's another tangent we go on. But New York City started two major fucking music genres.
No, yeah.
If you will. And it hasn't really touched on the punk or rock and roll part at all. It's not going to.
I don't think it.
so.
Yeah, I think it might at some point. It kind of has to touch on it at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen the whole series, but
yeah, because there's like the Blondie did fucking a hip hop song. Rapture is considered a punk hip hop song, and that was like '79. I wouldn't be surprised if the next season like Blondie shows up somehow. Like,
you never know.
because that when they started doing the art gallery things, when like people started letting people graffiti in art galleries, that's when they started kind of crossing over for a little bit. But what else?
No, if that's enough setup. I'll start talking.
All right, go for it.
So I've seen the first 2 episodes. It's a 6-part.
I thought you finished the third one.
No, I was watching the third one.
You didn't finish.
I didn't finish the third one.
Fucker. I told you to make Carlos drive.
Well, it is what it is. We would have missed it. I mean, if Carlos can't navigate, then he definitely can't drive. So, but so based on, well, I'll just talk about the pilot and the world that it sets up. I'm not gonna say I'm indifferent to it. I think I'm just it's finally kicking for me, like connecting. Because like the pilot was too much. Like the first half of the pilot, I was like, this is too fast. Like you need to slow the fuck down. Like there was just throwing at like the way that it was edited and like it really wasn't settling on anyone. It was kind of just bouncing all over, like going all like it was boom, 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 boom. And I don't know if stylistically Boz wanted to like that's the director and I guess he'd be the creator, right? Showrunner.
No, he's not the creator of the show.
It's his idea. I know that.
Is it his idea?
Yeah, because he's been trying to do it for like 10, 15 years.
Program creator.
Yeah. That's
Why
this is his child. Like this is his baby. This is
Wait,
what he's been wanting to do.
Look it up. Who's the writer on it? Has he got writing credits?
It doesn't matter if you write it. It's his. If he's the producer and he's the one.
No. Anybody can get a producer
He's making
credit.
enough money to where
He's the guy.
this is. I know this. That is undisputable. Now
So
whether or
isn't
not
he like German? Why is a German guy making a fucking?
because what who cares? It's what he likes.
I
I don't know.
I don't know if I believe you.
Look, it is what it is. Doesn't matter. It's. I know this is his product. But anyway, I don't know if he wanted to simulate like being on cocaine or something.
Stephen Adley
Is what the creator?
and Baz.
Yeah, so they're both like I just know that this is Boz's like brainchild. I've read articles about it. But anyway, so it was just way too fast for me. Like the editing, the pacing, it was just all over the place. You don't really settle on anything.
I mean, I feel like I knew the
Well, see,
Figaro or whatever the fuck his name. What's his name? Books.
Books.
whose books?
That's
Books the rapper.
Oh yeah.
Garrick.
See, I don't know.
Garrick.
I don't know. I don't know. See, I don't know any of this shit.
Talking about
Gary.
Garrick.
Jesus.
I call him Gary, but I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know anything about the history. So to me, this is all new
Well,
information.
I knew. No, he's not a real person.
Oh, see, well, I don't know.
Yeah. No, but I knew like that was the main guy. He's the lead on the show.
Oh no! I knew that. I wasn't saying that.
And his
I was
girlfriend.
just saying it
she's
was like
important too. Like
you know, usually when you start a show for the first time, it
you get a
doesn't
bunch
just
of backstory.
not backstory, but it's not. There's a lot of shit that goes on like the first.
I mean,
15
it's not
minutes.
a traditional pilot.
Right. It's not a
'Cause
complaint.
every pilot is generic.
It's not a complaint. It's me saying that it just took me a minute to like get the world in, like
Okay.
because there were moments where it felt like very melodramatic and fake,
Right.
like super like Glee ish. Like
No,
there's certain
absolutely.
things where I was like,
I feel like that's a big tone that it's got going for it.
and then other times it's like, oh, this is
It's dark
an
and-
HBO light show. Like to me,
Right.
like it's not. It teeters this PG-13 world.
I mean, I don't like Shamik Moore's character. I don't like the fucking sound effects. Like every time he moves, they do like the kung fu sound effects. And I know his name is Shaolin. Was it Shaolin?
Yeah, but
Shaolin Fantastic.
but that's
so
my point though. Like to me, the tone. That's what I'm saying. I didn't
It's
know.
not
like,
matching up.
It was like it felt like Glee in certain moments. Like
Right.
I'm sorry if other people don't agree with it, but it felt like a mature Glee where they fucking say nigga, fuck, whatever.
Right.
But it's like to me, it wasn't an HBO show where it had the maturity of I'm gonna say it, but vinyl. Like, you know, it's a different show,
That got canceled.
completely different show, and it did get canceled. But I'm just saying though, you get what I'm saying though. If the way vinyl approached its subject matter was more down to earth, right?
Right.
And this one's a little bit more stylized.
Oh,
That's all.
absolutely.
That's
I mean,
all
that's
I'm
the
saying
director.
is it took me a minute to like really.
Well, it's ambitious too because you have a lot of characters.
Right.
Because Vinyl was just Bobby Cannavale.
I'm not hating on this.
You know?
I'm not hating on the Get Down. I'm just saying for me, my initial experience. But I did like elements of like that they incorporated the gangs because I know you like the Warriors.
Right.
And like that type of gang stuff
That's real.
was real. No, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And so like I like that's a part of the story. The kids were a little young though, but I don't know if that's how young they were in real life.
Yeah, I could. That,
But I know like that type of that style of like gang stuff was real, like
Right.
Coney Island stuff. Like that's obviously why the Warriors was the Warriors.
right.
But I'm just like again like they're kind of young, so like that's the other thing. Like so, I know enough about it to like understand what's going on,
Right.
but not so much so where I get the intricacies. Like I didn't know that they were burning down buildings in the Bronx for money and stuff. Right.
Oh, you didn't know. That's like big.
I mean, I'm not from New York, so that to me that's not a part of my history.
You're not a hip hop fan either. So.
Well, see, there you go.
That's like the reason why hip hop got created was because at that time they were burning down, they were destroying the buildings that people lived in,
Well, see,
which
I
I
didn't-
liked a lot. Like you see, like they're in between buildings and there's just rubble everywhere, and it was just like these people are like they didn't have a voice and that's how they spoke out, and the only thing they could do is have these block parties.
Which is cool because, you know, people like me, because I guess I would represent the general population who may not know this stuff. I'm learning too.
Right.
You know, like, I'm assuming that these people are not real. You know, that these aren't based on anyone. But I'm assuming that the historical
Well,
stuff...
Grandmaster Flash is a real person, and Cool Herc is a real person, and they're both in the
I don't
show.
know who Cool Herc is. Who's Cool
I
Herc?
don't know if they've introduced him yet. I don't know if you've seen him yet.
Probably not.
But Cool Herc is like by many considered like the original hip hop DJ. Like everyone was biting his style.
You're not the guy who got killed?
No. Cool Herc never.
What
He
is
never
it?
blew up though. He never made any money. And then Grandmaster Flash is considered one of like the original DJs too.
Pioneers, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, like I said, I
You know
feel like...
Grandmaster Flash. You know fucking.
I'm sure I
It's
do.
like a jungle sometime. It make me wonder how I keep going.
Probably. It sounds familiar. That sounds familiar.
You know that song. Fucking Ice Cube. Ice Cube used the beat. Better check yourself before you wreck
I mean,
yourself.
I know, I'll know. I don't memorize lyrics. I'm not a lyric guy. I know what you're. But I'm not gonna start fucking blasting out the the lyrics. Like some people, if you do that, they'll start like going off and like going and
Everybody
I can't
knows
do that.
Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, man. Jesus.
Well,
I guess
anyway,
not.
my point is,
You know what? I was driving Uber and I picked up some 15-year-old kid, and he was like, "Oh my god, dude!" Like this little half black kid, and he talked just like this, man. He's like, "Yo, you know what, bro? Kendrick Lamar is like one of the greatest rappers of all time." And I was like,
what was the context
I
for
was
this?
like,
Why
huh?
were you guys talking about this?
"No, I don't
brought
even
it
know.
up?
He brought it up. He was just talking about shit." Oh, we were talking about like, so the girl just moved from Houston, the other person, because it was a Uber pool, and we were talking shit about Houston. And then he brought up music. And then I brought up that I was from the Bay Area, and then he started talking shit about the Bay Area. And I was like, okay, this kid's 15. I'm not going to take him serious. And then he started talking. He said the only rapper from Oakland he's ever heard of is G-Eazy, who I have no idea who the fuck G-Eazy is. I guess it's the new white guy with the comb over, right?
Yeah.
He's got nice hair, right? Stylish hair. I don't know. And he wears skinny jeans and shit. He looks like a hipster, but he raps. I don't know. I haven't
He's
heard.
heard of that guy, but he never heard
He
Too
never.
Short.
He didn't know who Too Short was. He doesn't know who Keek the Sneak is.
If he doesn't know who Too Short is, then his opinion's already invalid.
Yeah, he doesn't know Mr. Fab. He doesn't know E40. He doesn't know any of these people.
Or E40, yeah.
And I'm like, dude, like
I even know who those people are.
half the beats that you listen to, like any beat, he's like L.A. this, that, and that. And I was like, man, L.A. hasn't had a rapper since fucking NWA.
So he's-
until Kendrick Lamar. Like L.A. has not been like. In fact, you can make the argument that L.A. and New York have not been relevant to hip hop for a while. I mean, people are gonna bring up what's his face, the guy that was with 50 Cent, you know, the Game and
The
shit.
Game is L.A.
Yeah, he is L.A., but I don't know.
I like The Game's first album.
It's not L.A. rap though. Like all the beats are produced in fucking East Coast. Those are all East Coast beats on his album. You know, like now,
What are Dre
like
beats?
YG is real. Like that shit is like that's a throwback to L.A. gangster fucking music. Although I'm gonna call him out, YG, if you're listening to this,
Which he's not.
you're fucking hard. You're fucking don't even say C. You say Bompton because you're such a blood. Yet in this fucking your latest video, you're wearing a fucking Rams jersey, bruh. What kind of blood wears a fucking Rams jersey? It's fucking blue as fuck. He's wearing that shit.
It's like navy.
Oh, it's not blue? Get the fuck out of here.
I don't know.
Yeah,
That's beyond me.
I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, whatever. He never heard, and I said
Nipples.
all these nipples,
On
homie.
nipples.
Like
You can't wear red.
we just
you can't wear blue.
totally got off the subject.
Can't wear orange.
Anyways,
That's Buddha bitches.
yeah, I don't even know what a Buddha bitch is. I don't even get
People who wear orange.
like the-
Buddha.
like
Buddha. You just got that.
I was wondering what the joke was, and now I get it. Like might get fucked up by a monk.
By a monk.
in L.A.
Buddha bitches. And then he wears a scarf. And he's like, oh, nipples, nigga.
Okay,
We're talking about a video on YouTube.
You
by
can
the
check
way.
it out on our Instagram
Yeah, I reposted it.
at
DNG Talk.
But anyways, yeah, this kid was like all over the place. I don't.
Sounds like me when
How the
you
fu-
and I first started talking.
How the fuck did we get to this? Where were we at?
You were talking about Uber. But I mean, that
No,
sounds
but
like
what were we at
Grandmaster
before?
Flash.
Oh, Grandmaster
That he was
Flash.
real.
Like no, like this kid. Yeah, this kid doesn't know shit about any hip hop at all. Like
which is me.
his knowledge is like Kanye invented hip hop. You know.
Like Kanye. No, I mean, I mean, so that's what I'm saying. I'm not being ignorant. I just don't know about it.
No,
I'm
I
being
get it.
open.
I
Like,
get it.
I don't know. I don't know
Like
about.
it's definitely got a Glee feel, and I think the only reason why I watched the whole thing was because it's hip hop. If it wasn't hip hop, I would have turned that shit off already. You know, like if you know, because the disco stuff kind of bothers me.
I still don't know how old they are.
They're 16. It says it at the beginning.
Oh, okay. See,
Yeah, he's about to be a junior in high school.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
No, that's in the beginning. It had fucking all
And that whole thing, like that's Nas rapping, by the way.
at the beginning.
It's that one of the actors from Hamilton pretending to be a rapper, and then Nas is the actual guy rapping the song.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So he's a part of it too. I don't like those little stupid interludes, like
The beginning.
yeah, like
that he's in the present.
where he's rapping the song in the present. Well, it's 1996 actually.
Oh, well, see, I don't know.
Yeah, and then it's like then it goes into what he's talking about in the song. Like I don't really care for that. That happens in the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, I haven't. I've seen the first 2. I've
Yeah,
seen
at
first
the very
2.
beginning it's him rapping, then maybe sometimes in the middle, like
The third one they were talking about drugs, or it was. I remember like where I turned it off was that opening bit was talking about how hot it was in the Bronx,
right,
something like that.
like the hot summer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I left off.
Okay.
I mean, I want to finish the show. Like it's not bad.
I mean,
don't,
we're gonna have to continue this later, obviously. Like,
right,
but
because I haven't seen everything.
like, if I'm gonna complain about anything, Shamik Moore,
I don't like his character.
his character doesn't bother me. He bothers me because I know for a fact he's not a fucking gangster. The way he talks, he's such a fucking square.
Well, that's why I don't like his character.
Because it's like he's trying to be hard, but you know, like you're
He's
square.
not hard.
You were square as fuck, Shamik Moore. Why did you take that role? Like you're not bringing like nobody knows Shamik Moore. Like oh, I'm gonna watch this because of dope. Like,
But not
3
even,
people
but
watch
not
that
even
shit.
like that. Like even the way he plays the character, he's not hard. Like at no point, like there even in the first episode when main dude with the fro, Garrick, I'll call him Garrick. I don't know his name. What's his name?
His name
Zeke.
Is Zeke. That's his name. Ezekiel.
Ezekiel.
Yeah.
When Zeke and him have that like about the record thing, and they're like, "Nah, it's for love, whatever."
Right.
Like even at that moment, he's not intimidating.
Right.
Like Zeke, as skinny and as bitch like as he looks like, at no point did I ever feel like fucking what's his name? Shaolin would ever like harm him.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. So like for him to be this hard,
Right. Well, he's supposed to be a mystical character. That's why, because like he's a tagger, he's a graffiti artist, but no one's ever seen him. They just know he wears red Pumas. I mean, there's a lot to take in. Like, there's a lot of shit you got to pay attention to.
no, there is. I mean,
You know.
but I don't know. And Jaden Smith is worthless.
I mean,
in the
until
first 2 episodes, I don't know
I mean,
what
Jaden
happens.
Smith shouldn't have like he's only in Hollywood because of his dad, and he didn't inherit his dad's fucking skills.
He did not.
So-
Sorry, Jaden. Like
He's
you
definitely-
are literally only in the business because of your dad.
He is definitely more Jada than Will, for sure. Anyways, once Daniel finishes the Get
Which will be the
Down
next
in a
podcast.
year,
I'll
we'll
finish
fucking-
probably tonight.
We'll talk about it. Mr. Robot. So I watched the first 2 episodes of Mr. Robot. I don't know. You want to say something first, or should I say something first?
No, go ahead. I mean, I could set it up, but it's
So I've been watching. I started watching because everyone's been hyping the fuck out of it, and which is fine, whatever. And I'm not even gonna break down the show because you guys have seen it. It's been out a fucking year already.
Yeah.
just about.
season 2's wrapping up, I believe.
No, I think it just started. I think it's only a few episodes in.
Oh well,
I liked it.
pilot's great.
I wasn't blown away. I wasn't blown away with the pilot. I think the lead guy,
I love.
is overacting like a motherfucker.
Oh, I love it.
I don't know. I don't like his acting. I mean, I know he got his big ass eyes and shit, and whatever. He's got an interesting look. Not saying he's a bad actor, but I'm just like, okay, I'm not in love with him like other people are.
Me, I love
Yourself.
him. He's great. He was in a video game that I loved. It was good.
I mean, he was plays King Tut in the second fucking Not at the Museum.
I haven't seen.
Second or third.
I've only seen the first one.
I think is it the third? Is there 3 of them?
There are 3.
It was the third one then,
It's one of Robin Williams' last movies.
and I watched it on an airplane back from Europe. That's the only reason why I watched it. It was like one of the 7th fucking movies I watched on that flight. There's some cool stuff going on. Like they have a little homage to the Warriors, where they're at Coney Island and they have the Ferris wheel at night and they have the weird music. Like I was like, that's totally from the Warriors. And if it wasn't, that fucking guy.
Well, it made you happy, so
It was cool. I think my favorite part so far is Christian Slater.
okay.
I think Christian Slater's pretty awesome in it.
He hasn't been in much lately, so it's good to see him in a good show.
Right. I mean, I get it. Okay, so I'm just gonna jump right into it. I have my suspicions about what's going on, and I feel a Fight Club kind of vibe going on, like Christian Slater is Elliot. He's his Brad Pitt, because there's like a lot of odd stuff going on where you never see like direct interaction with Christian Slater and the other characters when he's on screen. You just see shit going on.
These are his predictions.
These are
by
my
the way.
predictions. My predictions are we're going to find out that Elliot is crazy and that Christian Slater is a figment of his imagination and he's like the master behind all of these terrorist plots that they're doing right now. Right now, I'm not even finished with episode 2. Actually, I'm like
Yeah, so
three-quarters of
I'm
the
not
way
going to confirm or deny
on
anything he's
episode
saying.
2. And I think that's all I got, man. Like
Do you like it, or do you want
no,
it? Do you even
I
want
want
to
to finish it. I definitely want to. I think I'm more into it than you are. The Get Down for sure. I want to watch the rest. It's a good. I mean, the problem I'm having is that Amazon Prime does not connect to Chromecast, and it's not on Apple TV. So that means I got to get a Fire Stick or hook my fucking.
So how do you watch it?
I've been watching it on the phone at the gym. That's how I've been
Oh, that's
watching it.
gay.
So.
I mean, lame. That's lame.
That's fine. I don't need a big screen to watch any TV show.
Yeah, but
except
I mean,
Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is the only show I need to watch.
I mean, you don't want to watch it on your. That's like inconvenient.
It's distracting me from the fucking treadmill. So
I guess that's
that's
true.
fine. Like I focus on it.
I don't work out, so I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't worked out in a while either. So,
But I mean, well, no, you can download it on your Xbox One. That's how I watch it. Xbox One or PS4. I don't know what you have.
Yeah, but we got a shared deal going on here in the living room, so it's like
that's off limits.
I like to watch shit in the bedroom. Like,
oh, okay.
if I'm gonna binge watch, I want to binge watch in the bedroom.
Buy an Xbox. Buy a Fire Stick.
I mean,
how expensive can Fire Sticks be?
I have a Fire Stick.
See, so then what are you bitching about?
I don't know, man. It's just too much shit. I got too much fucking hardware going on. I don't like it. I like to control everything from my fucking phone. Okay, that's really
all right. Whatever.
It's easier that way.
I love Amazon Prime.
I mean,
you like it too. You just don't like that it's not on fucking the other services.
Absolutely, I'm okay with it. Whatever.
But what did you think about that gay scene, the gay butt sex scene?
Is that in episode 2? Or
yeah.
You just spoiled it for me because I haven't got there yet.
I thought you just said you've watched the first 2 episodes.
No, I said I was like halfway through episode 2. Like literally said that 3 minutes ago.
I had missed it then. I wasn't paying attention to you.
Thanks. I don't know who's getting fucked in the butt, so that's.
Well, when you see it, you'll know. Obviously.
I mean, there's like, okay, so like the last thing I'm at was when he runs into the drug dealer at the girl's house, where she's like got date raped and she's in the bathtub.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
All right, and like
that story turns out to be interesting too.
I don't know why they cast these fucking people because that guy's not Latino, and he's not a good actor either. I mean, maybe he gets better, but I hate that shit. Like, there's so many like Latinos in Hollywood that could have played that fucking role, and you're gonna pick a fucking. I mean, maybe he has. Look him up. See what his background is.
They could have did Michael Pena. He could have just played all the Mexicans.
Michael Pena's too big for this show.
I don't know his name.
Look episode 2.
He's a gangster. He plays He plays.
Seems like Fernando or something. I think his name's Fernando.
Yeah, if you do IMDb for episode 2, you'll be able to see. I don't know his name off the top of my head.
I just feel like there's so many there. I personally know so many brown actors out there, and they're not getting cast.
That's the
in
business,
roles,
man.
You know.
He probably.
I mean, he looks grimy.
He probably knew someone. His agent probably knew someone. That's probably what it was.
I guess. You know.
Not saying he's not, like you said, it's not bad. It's just there could have been better.
It's like 1.1.
1.2.
It's episode 2, whatever episode 2 is.
But yeah, there's a gay scene in it, and it doesn't bother me. I don't give a shit. Obviously, you and I have seen plenty of gay shit on Game of Thrones and whatever, like any show, like where doesn't get bothered. We're not bothered by it. But
you brought it up for a reason.
Because it was like super, super controversial. Because this is a USA show too, so it's like
I thought it was FX. It's not FX?
No, it's not FX. It's USA. So obviously they're on cable, and I believe this show airs at like 10.
I can't discuss this because I haven't seen it. So let's wait.
Let's wait.
Wait.
Well, okay.
I mean, we got to wrap this up pretty soon anyway. So.
All right. I mean, because I figured I thought you said you watched the second episode.
No, that's
and that
fine.
happens in the second episode.
I mean, basically, if you guys are listening, we just wasted your time about
basically
Mr.
because
Robot. And the Get
can't
Down.
talk about it.
And Daniel can barely talk about the Get Down. So this was interesting.
I could talk about it. You just didn't want to.
I didn't want to talk about the Get Down?
I mean, never mind. I'm not going to open that because then you'll start spoiling it, and then I'll be mad and complain.
Okay, yeah, I know.
That's not what I said. It's not even a spoiler.
I gotta get one back.
It doesn't even matter. Like when you see when you see the scene, you're
All right,
like,
well,
okay.
what are you doing this weekend? Are you watching any movies?
Like,
what's the next thing we're gonna talk about?
I don't know what's coming out. Let's see. What's coming out this weekend?
Let's see.
Ooh, Dodgers tied the game 2-2. You know who's back in the lineup for the Dodgers? Puig.
Oh yeah, I heard.
That's
they called
because
him up.
Josh Reddick
Is garbage.
is fucking terrible. Fuck Josh Reddick.
The light between oceans.
Yeah, I'm not watching that.
Well, that's Bay. Michael Fassbender's Bay.
Morgan, that's out this weekend.
That's probably won't watch that.
You're not gonna watch Morgan?
No.
I thought you were like a huge Ridley Scott fan.
It's not his movie in terms of directing.
He didn't direct it?
I actually like Tony
You can watch
Scott
Bad
better.
Moms.
Who the fuck is Luke
R.I.P.
Scott? Is that his son?
R.I.P.
Is Luke Scott directing this movie? Is that
I
his
don't know.
son?
Look it up. Look
Look it up, Carlos.
Do
Who
your
is
fucking
Luke
job.
Scott? And is that Ridley Scott's son or fucking Tony Scott's?
We could watch the. I could watch the Obama movie.
There's an Obama movie?
Yeah, South Side with
That's
You.
his son. Luke.
Oh, it's
Luke
like
is his son.
it's a documentary.
So Luke got some money to make his movie because his dad's Ridley.
So fucking
Luke
nepotism
Jake.
strikes again.
Yep.
And the movie's at 37%, so that nepotism ain't working for him too well.
Ridley Scott's son rips off his dad with weak Morgan. It's like the first thing.
That's
It's a 37 user score, so I pay attention to user score more than critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know about you guys out there.
I don't pay attention to either because fuck Rotten Tomatoes.
You know,
So what is Don't Breathe user score?
It's about the same. 85.
yeah, that's weak.
I do want to see Kubo and the Two Strings. I think you pronounce it Kubo.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's a stop. I think it's stop motion.
War Dogs.
No,
Def-
it's animated.
It's animated. I
Yeah.
don't know. Well, I've seen there. No, I think it is stop motion because I've seen time lapse videos of them like
Animated.
doing the stop motion, and then the background is all like green screen, so they animated the background.
No, that's fucking animated, bro. That's computer animation.
Like,
I've seen the fucking stop motion though. I swear to God.
Well, then that's awesome. Stop.
Google it.
You know what? That might be stop motion. It does kind of look like.
Told you, bitches, both of you.
All right. Do you feel better? You fucking won for the
I
first time in
did.
your life.
I won on this podcast.
Okay.
That's my life.
he synced it.
Mechanic.
No.
Mechanic
I'm
2?
not gonna pay to watch that in the theater.
I watched Jason Bourne yesterday,
And it sucked.
and it was fucking terrible.
I've heard.
Fucking terrible. I mean, like, fucking terrible. Like, I wanted to leave. That's how bad it was. I like Paul Greengrass. I liked the third Jason Bourne,
Right.
but this one, it's just terrible. But I don't know. I mean, I'm probably gonna relax this weekend.
All right. Okay. Well, we'll figure out. Maybe I will do my best to finish Mr. Robot this week.
And I'll finish the Get Down.
Not tomorrow, but Saturday. I'm not even know I'm talking about this because it's gonna come out afterwards. But so make sure you watch the video that happened. That's gonna happen before the USC Alabama game on YouTube, which is gonna be. You're gonna know the score of the game already and everything, but fucking watch it and like it. It's gonna be up. I'm gonna post it up from Dallas.
I won't be there though, so
You-
if there's a drop in viewers, then we'll know why. This is the test.
Right, exactly. Because the 25 viewers we have aren't my friends already. Anyways,
Zach's my friend.
that'll do it. You know what? I'm just gonna say it and say this is not our best podcast so far, but whatever.
I don't know. I didn't know we were comparing.
We're keeping it consistent. So, anyways, have a great night. I hope you guys enjoyed your Labor Day weekend and listen to this on Tuesday. And yeah, I'm out. Take care.
Later, bitches.